I've been working. Glenn's been working on the car. The storm hit in Florida, and a lot of people probably don't know this because he never really done no video of it. But we sold a car to Cleetus McFarlands. If you ever watch his videos, it's in the background underneath like a shelter thing. It's a cougar, and I'll put some videos of it on here.
Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
He bought the car from us, and Tim Gentry, his driver at the time, he come and picked the car up, and that's how I met Tim. I sent him videos of the LTD, and it just so happened he had blowed up his burnout truck he was going to use. So we met him at Bristol. A&D Hot Rod Shop hauled it down. We went to Bristol and actually met Tim, and he bought the car and was going to put it in the burnout, but he had trouble with the wideband sensor or something in the pits. The car run good, and they was doing some tuning on it. I think they was wanting to turn it on up. I had it like 5,000 RPM rev limiter and 10 pounds of boost because it's bone stock motor. But you know, he didn't care if he scattered it. Anyways, he was turning it on up. So the car ended up going home with him. He's done a little bit of videos with it. He's supposed to bring a truck here or something, Ford, OBS Ford, and maybe get us put a big block in it. But back to the Cleetus thing. I'm sorry, I get sidetracked. The storm hit, and the shed, the lean-to, actually fell on top of the cougar. It doesn't look like it's hurt. It kind of looks like it's sitting in between the rafters, and I'll show you a picture that I got off of his video. I'm not trying to steal his copyright or whatever you want to call it, his video material, but it fell like directly over top of it. It doesn't look like it's hurt. It looks like the rafters are sitting on the mirrors, but I sent word with Tim. I texted him and told him Gentry Trucking, if you want to look him up on YouTube. But I texted him and told him to tell Cleetus that if we found another car, if it is tore up, we'll find another cougar and we'd swap everything for free. Any way we can help him, we'll help him. We know the car, so it's, you know, a good weekend we can swap the drivetrain out. It's a 5.3 turbo, turbo 350.
Oh, I have faith in you, but this isn't a junkyard. This is a garage.
Hey, pop the hood.
Pop the hood?
Pop the hood. Shit. And what did I tell you?
I retract my previous statement.
That car really needed some gear in it. It had like 273s in it. And with the weight and the way how soft the suspension was, it didn't really want to do no burnout. So I think it could use like a 327 gear and some shocks or something to raise that back end up and stiffen it up a little bit. I think it's got a 7.5 in it still. I believe we just welded it up, so I don't think it's 8.8 in it, but we got one out here we can put in it. Anyways, let's look at the car, the progress of this thing. I just mounted this radiator. Now that is a 66 Mustang radiator. And that Dorman number I give you on the fan on the last video actually fits over top of that, kind of like a shroud. Now you will have to zip tie it because if it gets too close, the fan will actually hit. So you have to cut out for the necks on the inlet and outlet neck, but you can pretty much use that as a shroud. Of course, I hacked it up there, but anyways, that fan right there and that radiator will cool LS just fine. You can get that radiator for like 109 bucks, and the fan is 76, I think. About as cheap as you get, and they fit about anywhere. So this car, we're gonna have to cut out that cover that goes over the radiator. We'll have to cut it out, but it'll clear everything else. So I think we're in good shape. Put trans cooler on it. Glenn pulled this little rear end out. I'm not sure what what that rear end's called, but it's got like nuts on the axles, and the tubes are like 2.5 inches. I think it's a Dana 25. I think is what I looked it up, and that's how big the tubes are. But this 8.8 out of Explorer that he went and picked up, he's gonna put it in there. I'll probably help him with that tomorrow since I'm off. But it's got 355 gears in it, I believe. So this car's going to be kind of screaming on the interstate, but I'm not worried about that. And this truck intake is aggravating me to death. This is a really nice car, and it's been a lot of work to get everything in there, and I can't leave that on there. So I think I'm going to order a sheet metal intake. LS1 intake would look good on there, but I can't see paying $500 for one and use the stock rails and all when I can get a sheet metal intake for like $425 shipped, and it comes with rails, throttle body, everything. So I believe that's the route I'm going to go. I need to quit procrastinating and go on and order it, but I will go over what I got in this car, all right? And this is, well, no, I'm not going to go over what I got in this car. I'm going to make a video of how much money is in this car. And that's about as cheap as you're going to get, other than getting a roller cheaper. If you can get a roller cheaper than what I paid for this, that's more money in your pocket. So I'll make a different video of that. I think he got the screen mounted. I've only got to talk to him for a few minutes because I just see him when I'm coming in, and oh yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it turned out good. He's got the ECU in there and the glove box. I don't know about the wiring. I don't know if he's got all that done. I'm not sure how he's got that mounted on there, but I think he used my daggone iPhone holder. Whatever works. If it's here, we can use it. No, it's sitting over. He didn't use it. I don't know where he got that mount from. That's where we're at with this. I can mark his stuff off. I got it done tonight, this evening rather. Radiator, transcooler, fan, not a relay. Waiting on alternator bracket. And the cold side, I may finish up tonight since I got the radiator in there. I was waiting on a 3 to 2.5 inch adapter, and it come in, so I may finish it. Lynn's done cut the hole in it for that to go in, so I might finish that up. Here's a good idea too. We usually do this: put something over top of that, because whenever you lean against it, you get that fiberglass on you, or whatever you call that stuff. Testing 1, 2, 3. I know you like these. These got a story behind them. The car I daily drive is the 99 Grand Marquis. Ugly, beat up. She runs like a sewing machine though. And these glasses was in the glove box. That car belonged to a little lady here in town. She passed away and I ended up with it. And lo and behold, these shades was in there, and as soon as I seen them, I knew what I was going to do with them. Well, after I made a video about being a hitman, but I'll show that to you. Got my driving gloves on, smoking shades, feel like a hitman. So, if you know the lady, no disrespect, because I love the car, I call it Thelma Louise. But these are perfect glasses. The plasma cut. I'm gonna tell you, if you ain't got one of these, get you one. Amazon. $300. It don't get no better than that. Beats the heck out of grinding stuff. I mean, come on. Spring purchase. You ever ground the set off? It ain't fun. Let's knock this one off too. Getting this thing ready for the old Studebaker, Baker Brown. That's money. Damn, I think somebody already says that. Oh, the Cajun guy. I won't say that. We're gonna block that out. After this pressure cuts off, I'll talk to you for a minute. There we go. You can hear me now. Let me turn the humming machine off. Alright, for the Studebaker guys, all two of you. Sorry, I had to. 8.8 will fit in these cars when I mocked it up. But the spring purchase, whatever you want to call them, spring mounts, pads, whatever, they're 3/4 of an inch off to the narrow side, to the inside of the car. So you're going to have to cut them, move them 3/4 of an inch, right? Which ain't a big deal, because in this case, which I ain't going to do anyways, you could clean all that up where I just cut them. Let me see here. You could clean all that up, but I'm not going to. In this case, mud daubers, man, we get a lot of them. I'm going to get this, grind it up right here, move it over 3/4 of an inch and leave that there. It ain't hurting nothing. It ain't bothering me. You'll never see it underneath the car. So, if you buy a car from me, and you like your stuff to be all cleaned up and stuff, it's going to be a little extra. We can put her back on the lift, clean it up, and paint it up for you, but that's why it's going to be if not. Just because it really don't matter. This is not going to be a show car. It's going to be a cruise-in car with a good time. And we're going to make some videos. There's a guy here in town, bless his heart, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. His name is Melvin Persinger, and he's a Studebaker freak, man. If you need to know anything, he knows everything about Studebaker. And I gave him the motor and transmission out of this car, and it was like Christmas to him. I mean, when I seen him again, he was telling me that that motor was a rare something flathead. He's like, that's why the clutch was slipping, because it makes 90 horsepower. And I said, well, it's going to make about 5 times that now, so. But he ain't upset over me chopping this car up. He's got one of these cars 2-door that is supercharged. It's got a antique, some kind of supercharger that come on them cars, I believe. It's really cool. But he was like, how much boost are you going to be running? I said, probably 14. He said, 14? I'm running 4 pounds. If I go any more, I got to put head studs in it. I said, nah, man, it's LS. It's a different ball game. So I think I'm going to take it for a ride in it and record it, just because I want to see how impressed he is. I think you'll enjoy it.